Welcome. My name is Shannon Bryant, Traffic Safety Resource Prosecutor for Nevada. This is part of the TSRP training video series intended for Nevada law enforcement personnel conducting DUI traffic stops. These short training videos are intended to refresh training for in-service officers who have already completed their Category 1 training. This brief training is on the preliminary breath test, or PBT, in the context of Nevada's DUI laws, and is designed to help you identify when and why to use the PBT, and also to discuss important points to remember about the PBT in the context of a DUI suspect's constitutional rights. This video is not, however, an instructional video for how to use a PBT instrument. For that instruction, law enforcement should refer to their supervisors or a qualified forensic analyst of alcohol. So let's get started. First, when to use the PBT. Law enforcement conducting DUI investigations should only use their PBT instruments that have been properly calibrated and maintained in accordance with state regulations. Although PBT results are not admissible in a criminal trial, an instrument not maintained in accordance with these regulations but used in an investigation may draw a defense motion to suppress evidence or even the arrest itself, because a judge may find that if the reliability of one part of your investigation, the PBT instrument, has questionable reliability, the seizure order or arrest may be found later to be unlawful because at least part of the probable cause determination was based on it. To avoid this unpleasantness, keep your PBT instruments maintained and tested for accuracy at least once per month. Also, it is important to store your PBT instrument away from extreme temperatures, such as a dashboard in the summer or the trunk of your vehicle during the winter when it is left unoccupied for an extended period of time. A glove box is generally okay, as is elsewhere in the passenger compartment, so long as the PBT instrument is out of direct sunlight. If you do keep your PBT properly maintained and stored, do your very best to try to use it in every DUI investigation in accordance with your standardized training. Now, why should you at least try to use the PBT in every one of your investigations? First, the administration of the PBT is part of your standardized NHTSA training you received during the academy. It is essentially the last step of the three-phase investigation of DWI detection. Administering the PBT, or at least attempting to in every DUI investigation, maintains uniformity and objectivity in your investigations. This kind of do-it-every-time approach will eliminate any unwarranted allegations that you are treating one suspect differently from another. Most importantly, once the result is obtained, it will help you make the determination of whether the suspect has a statutory right to a breath test. Please note that the PBT result does not give you the basis for a DUI arrest. Like any arrest, a DUI arrest is based not on one thing alone, but on the totality of the circumstances. Your probable cause determination that the suspect drove impaired should already be made at this point. The PBT result will help you decide if the impairment that you already observed, if you did observe it, is coming from alcohol, something other than alcohol, or a combination of the two. On that note, it is important to remember that the PBT result of under the per se amount of 0.08 does not mean no arrest. In fact, according to the CDC, a person with a BAC of 0.05 can experience impairment in tracking moving objects, steering a motor vehicle, and of course, their judgment. Remember, it is unlawful to drive impaired on any substance, period. The per se levels simply make it a legal certainty that the person is impaired at that specific level. Finally, it is important to remember that the preliminary breath test is a search under the Fourth Amendment. We know this from our Nevada Supreme Court's 2018 opinion in Sample versus State. Officers cannot direct a suspect to provide a sample. Any consent the officer gets from the suspect must be voluntary. On this note, please remember that a refusal to blow into a PBT instrument is not a crime. One cannot be arrested for it. Such a refusal may trigger other administrative consequences, such as the revocation of a driver's license, but there are no criminal consequences for exercising a constitutional right to say no to a warrantless search. After an officer asks a suspect if he or she will provide a PBT breath sample, the suspect will commonly ask, "What will happen if I say no?" Your response should not be, "I will arrest you," even if that arrest decision is based on other facts and circumstances. The best practice would be for an officer to simply state truthfully, "It just gives me less information to determine if you are safe to drive." Ultimately, properly maintained and utilized, the PBT is a useful instrument to help you complete your DUI investigation and make appropriate evidentiary testing decisions in your case. This concludes this training video. I'm Shannon Bryant, your Nevada Traffic Safety Resource Prosecutor. On behalf of the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Nevada's Office of Traffic Safety, and the Washoe County District Attorney's Office, thank you for all you do and for keeping Nevada's roadways safe.